You're listening to the AZREIA Show. If you're looking for quality real estate investing information that you can trust, you've found it. Stay tuned and join the tens of thousands of members that have already benefited from AZREIA, your home for education, market information, support, and networking opportunities that will advance your real estate investing career.
Hello, great state of Arizona and our people in the surrounding western region. How you doing today? This is Marcus Maloney, and this is another episode of the AZREIA Show. And I have our executive director, Mike 𝗕𝗄𝗃.
What's up? What's up?
He has had his coffee, so he has his energy going. And today, guess what? We really need to find that extra level of energy. They need that extra level of push. So we have Jaquan Newsome here today, and Jaquan is a personal fitness trainer with Befitnominal and throughout the Valley, and he worked specifically with real estate investors that are looking to increase their energy, because we know as investors, we always make excuses. Hey, I'm working 20 hours out of the day. When can I squeeze in, gym time and everything like that? So we wanted to bring Jaquan on today and talk to you guys about why being fit is so important. So, man, welcome to the show, Jaquan. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me, Marcus. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, man, give us the background. Why personal fitness?
Man, why not personal fitness, right? The background. So I've been doing this for about 7 years. Like Marcus said, I've been working with a lot of business owners and executives, and throughout my whole process, probably about more than 50% of those people are in real estate. And I just saw a trend of, like you said, it's busy schedules, stressed out, a lot of the same problems. So in order for me to make a deep impact and also scale, I was like, I want to focus on one specific person. And also my personal goals are to be an investor, which I'm a new investor right now. It all just worked out.
Okay.
What happened before that? Like you're telling us a little bit about how you got into fitness. Go back before 7 years.
Yeah. So, man, how I got into fitness, Marcus was asking me off camera, was I was actually playing basketball. Everybody wants to go to the NBA, want to be LeBron James.
Yeah, LeBron. Everybody want to be Mike. Generation gap, guys. Generation gap.
But
that's blasphemy.
He's a go. But I hurt my knee, and I went to a physical therapist. Mind you, nobody in my family ever went to college, so I was like, I'd never seen a physical therapist. I'm like, oh, this is cool career. Like, what do you do? He told me I'm a physical therapy. I study kinesiology, so I just followed the blueprint. Went to Arizona State, studied kinesiology, got a degree there. But when it was time for me to actually go to medical school for my PT, I was like, all right, I want to be an entrepreneur. I either can spend $100,000 on this school, be in debt, or I can start my own business and make more than a therapist. So I believe I've made the right decision, and I've been helping thousands of people and changing lives ever since.
Smart move.
Awesome, man.
Smart move, because guess what? If you build your business to the point where you can still backtrack and go get that degree if you want to.
Right.
Mike is still a GOAT though.
Yeah.
We know it's Michael Jordan.
Right. So you, and because you had an injury, right? So you had an injury, you messed up your knee or something?
Yeah. I messed up my knee. They call it jumper's knee. It's just like tendonitis in your knee. Basically, when it's just a lot of jumping in your knee, get inflamed. And I went to a therapist for that. But I also got certification and kind of use that in my training as well. So I'm a corrective exercise specialist. So we all know, especially you getting older, you got back problems, you got knee problems, and all that hinders people from working out. So I kind of took all my experiences and I use it for my clients on things that help them, live a healthier lifestyle.
Okay.
Cool. So then you jumped in, made that decision from entrepreneur or school, right? So how long did it take, to get your business off the ground? Were you nervous at first? What was going on that first year?
You know what? No, I wasn't nervous at all, because I always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Mm-hmm. In high school, I don't know if you guys remember, you guys are kind of young.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they had these t-shirt pressers, and you can print a picture off the internet and then put it on a t-shirt. Mm-hmm. So I was doing that and selling it. And then that evolved into a whole clothing line. So I had a clothing line for about 4 or 5 years. So I always was selling stuff. Like we had celebrities wearing it. The only problem, the more we grew, I had business partners and egos got in clash. So we stopped that business, and then it was easy for me to make the shift because we was already, selling, marketing, doing all that. It was really super easy.
Okay. So you was a young hustler. Okay.
Yeah.
That's normal. That's normal for most entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And when they're young, they find a side hustle and they just hustle. And then they always have that entrepreneurial spirit. Same way with me. I mean, again, I'm younger than you. So what I used to sell, and this may sound crazy, guys, but we used to have the big Barbie pins and we would put beads on them. And at the time, the girls would put them on their shoelace. So we was selling those and doing some designer stuff with those. So it was kind of crazy. It was one of those things. Yeah.
What about you, Mike? You ever sell anything for real estate?
Nah. There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I could relate. I had a clothing line here in the Valley. We had thousands of shirts. We used to go to the Magic Show out in Vegas. Remember that? Right?
Yeah.
Do all that stuff. Yeah, man. So concerts, man. So everything. It's just in the blood.
So I'm gonna keep it PG. I sold some other stuff too, but it wasn't what you were supposed to sell at the time.
Right. Yeah.
It's
legal now.
Yeah. It's legal now, so I can speak on it. But I was pretty good at that. But let's go back.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll go back.
Yeah.
So now you're in the business. Now you said you notice patterns, right? So you're working with business owners, real estate investors. So what patterns were you noticing? I know you said like time and was a problem. What else did you notice about entrepreneurs?
Yeah, for sure. Time is the main one that people say. The nutrition. People you would think, since I was in the industry for so long, I would think people know about like different nutrition, but talking with people, they're like, man, I really don't know how to eat. I just kind of eat. Time, the family is another factor. If I have kids, I don't know how to maneuver the food, and also the workouts too. I might go to the workout, not sure what I'm really doing, so maybe I get on the treadmill, and then I'm working out for 5-6 months, but I'm not really seeing results. So just seeing the gaps and making the shifts.
Yeah. I know one of the things as a real estate investor, one of the problems that I had was, like you said, the nutrition. It's you're on a go, you're going to these houses, you're meeting with realtors, you're meeting with people, you're always on a go. So it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna pull up in this drive-through and I'm gonna grab something, just to satisfy my hunger, and then we'll keep it moving. So a lot of investors fall into that. So that, like you said, that nutrition is very important. And then when you eat and you satisfy that hunger, but you're putting that junk in you, and it's actually decreasing your energy level. So can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I was on the lunch and learn with Mike the other day, and I don't know if a lot of business owners or entrepreneurs actually realize this, but man, business is so emotional. We, especially investors, the deal might not go through. I've had those conversations over and over. It can happen like up and down. You don't really know. It's no blueprint. And then what we do is emotional eat. I'm stressed out, man. Let's just go get something to eat. Or something positive can happen. You're like, oh man, let's go celebrate. Let's go eat. So everything is surrounded around food, and then we don't realize what it's doing to our bodies. And then you combine that with, I don't have time to work out, or you're eating and you're not working out, and it's just an unhealthy balance.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I celebrate almost every night. Just speaking from personal experience, I was on a roll for a while. Mike can attest to it. I was eating healthy. I was doing everything right. I don't know what happened. I regressed, and I can say, but a lot of it goes into discipline, And I think that was one of the things that a lot of real estate investors miss, is just that discipline and having that accountability. And with you being that personal trainer, that accountability is really, really important.
Yeah, it helps. So think about it though. So what are your thoughts on, like, as entrepreneurs, for like discipline, read books, grow your mind, take action, but then do it healthy?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Before I actually started this course for real estate investors, I did about 100 different interviews, and I would really ask people what their pain points, and that actually popped up what you're saying. A lot of them like, man, I feel like I'm really successful. My family looks up to me. I'm doing all these deals and stuff, but when I go home, my identity doesn't really match, like, my body, like what I'm saying. And yeah, I think it's it's a real thing out there. It's like, now I'm doing all these things, I'm telling people this, people are looking at me a certain way, but we know when we look in the mirror, it's like, all right, I'm kind of slacking. Like, I gotta get up on my stuff.
I can do better.
So can we say food is an addiction?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say food is an addiction. You know, sugar is like probably the number one thing that just gets people, and it doesn't have to be actual sugar. Like eating bread, chips and salsa, stuff like that. Simple carbs are really an addiction for sure.
Man, I like the real sugar. I like
the real sugar. Me too. I'm more.
So put sugar on your cereal, Marcus?
No, I just buy the sugar that already have the cereal. Right. So
give some tips, man. Like, what are some things our listeners can walk away with whether it's emotional eating, celebrating tough times, or like we just said, like their image isn't matching their business. What are some things you can share with us?
Yeah, man, where can I start with that? Some tips. Definitely just be aware of that. Like if you listen to this podcast, on the Lunch and Learn, I was telling people, like, just be aware that business is emotional. One of the things that we actually use is, I forgot the exact name for it, but if you type in Mel Robbins' emotional chart, and then it'll pop up. She has a chart that it allows you to like identify your emotions. Most people just feel like I'm sad, I'm angry, or like those two emotions a lot of people can't actually name their emotions, but when you go deeper on this chart that she has, I think is really cool. You can look at it like, man, maybe I'm feeling like inadequate, finding the right word, and then you can actually dig a little bit deeper. I made a post yesterday. One of the biggest things for fitness, like it's really three things that we do to help people. It's fitness, accountability, and nutrition. All right. So just look at those three things and chart and rate yourself on where you're doing. If you're in business, I'm sure you have people you talk to. Use one of your business partners as accountability. And one of the things that I do personally that helps me out so much, I talk about it a lot. Seems simple, but I use an app that's called Habit Share and actually track my habits. So I don't track my food, I don't really track my macros. But if you're identifying what you're doing every day and you're tracking your habits, it just makes it so much better. So in business, people have KPIs, key performance indicators, but look at your KPIs for your health as well.
So what are some examples of tracking habits? Like, what are you looking for? Or are you like saying, okay, the last 2 weeks I was eating these scenarios and I'm not seeing progress? Or what are you looking for when you're looking for patterns or something?
Yeah. So what am I tracking, like, as far as my habits?
Yeah, like when you're watching your habits, because you said you're not doing macros, you're not counting calories, I'm assuming.
No, but I'll track my food. Well, I'll track the habits on the food, but it'd just be like, if I ate clean, I ate healthy, I plan my meals, like I ate at home, I'll give myself a green. But if I ate, pizza, wings, whatever I ate out, I'll give myself a red. So I just make it pretty black and white. And then I also track my water, make sure I'm getting enough water in.
How much water do we need?
At least half your body weight in ounces. Okay. I buy one of those, what are those little things called? It's called a hydro flask.
Okay.
Yeah. So I try to drink at least 3 or 4 of those a day. So if I do that, I'll track that, my sleep, and then my exercise.
You know what I found out about water, man? And this is actually a habit that I changed. When I was a lot unhealthier, one of the things that I used to do was when I wake up, I would always drink like some juice, just like a little thing of juice or something like that. And I didn't notice that when you sleep, your body is actually dehydrating. So when you wake up, first thing you should do is drink water. Well, that was difficult for me because I had to change that habit. I was so used to having that sugar intake first thing in the morning. But now, since I've been having that water, it's like my body is, once I take in that water, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to get my day started and stuff like that. So it's just little tweaks like that can make a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's why I tell clients, we just want to make those little tweaks that make a huge difference, because most people, they worked out before, they ate healthy, they tried some diet before. But if I can look at your blind spots and make those tweaks, that's what makes like a world of difference, for sure.
And that's what you do in your personal coaching, or is like look for the blind spots?
Yeah, that's what we do in our personal coaching. We look for the blind spots. Most of them are going to be in your nutrition, but a lot of times they're in your fitness too. If you're not doing anything, we need to start you from ground one and kind of build you up.
Is ground one different for everybody?
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. I have one guy right now. He works out 6 times a week, but he's not really seeing results. But he's at the gym every day. I have another guy who's doesn't really do anything. He's just on the computer, works a lot. So they have 2 different levels. The other guy goes to the gym. The other guy does not go to the gym.
So is it like one goes to the gym, doesn't eat right, one eats right but doesn't go to the gym?
Well, they both don't eat right. Yeah, but the ground zero is different from everybody.
So one of the things that I noticed, and guys, I can only speak from my experience because I'm not a health coach, not a trainer or anything like that. But I know that one of my big things was I played football years at a high level, and I tore up both of my rotator cuffs in my shoulders. So can't really bench press, can't do pull-ups or anything like that. And one of the trainers that I had, he was like, look, the most important thing is if you eat right and you drink water, you'll lose more weight than really getting out there trying to do Pilates and do all of this stuff and running and everything like that. He said the most important thing is really eating right. Is that true, or?
Yeah, I agree with that.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent, because if you want to be healthy and get your heart pumping and everything, you have to exercise to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But if your goal is solely, I want to drop some fat and just drop some pounds or even gain weight at that, it is eating right. But so most people say 80-20, but I like to say if you put 100, then you're gonna see the best results because you're not gonna get in shape or you're not gonna be more fit only just eating right.
Mm-hmm. Now, in his defense, he did say for me to try and walk like 2 hours, not 2 hours, 2 miles, walk a mile in the morning and a mile in the evening. And I was doing that, man. And I say was, I was doing that. And I had dropped like 15 pounds in a matter of like 30 days, 45 days, just from doing that. Because my whole mindset, and I know a lot of people's mindset sometimes is, I got to go to the gym. But something simple as walking, can really help you out also.
Yeah, for sure. And what you said, I see that so much is like, all right, I lost 15 pounds in 1 month, man, I was doing great. Then I don't know what happened. I just kind of stopped doing it.
So I know what happened with me.
Yeah.
Them brownies and chocolate cake.
Yeah. Just quit, pretty much.
Yeah, people just kind of stopped, but I kind of made the shift. It's like, all right, cool. I know people, you can find anything online. You can find a meal plan, you can find all this stuff. But if you can actually educate people how to eat, because we know stuff is going to happen. You're going to go out, there's going to be birthdays, there's going to be parties. If you can learn, like, okay, if I'm at an event, okay, what should I drink, or what should my macros be, or just be more aware of like your habits. That's what we try to do. So 2 things we focus on is the education, so you can actually know what you're doing with the workouts, with the food. And the second thing is if we can teach you these lifestyle habits that you can actually keep up, because we all know somebody who dropped a bunch of weight and then they gained it right back.
Just looking right at one.
Cakes and pies, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's normal.
I think that can relate to, in our world, we always talk about the lottery winner that, wins the lotto and then they're broke again in a couple of years because they didn't have that financial literacy. So the same thing, a lot of us, we just don't have that health
literacy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So what are some things that you would say? So someone works with you. I think the big piece it sounds like is that helps is like the accountability that you offer, right? And the strategic way to go about the best plan for that person. Give us some stories about like the successful people that didn't quit or didn't give up and stayed on track. What as real estate investors, like what kind of experiences have they had? What changes did you notice or that they expressed to you from sticking with it?
Yeah, for sure. One of my clients that comes off the top of my head, his name is Jesse. He owns a company called Batch.
Okay. And so that's Batch Leads, guys. Jesse with, what is it? Jesse Tarullo? Burrell. Okay. With Batch Skip Tracing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When I saw him, I was like, this is gonna be tough. I don't know. He started off like he couldn't even work out for like 10 minutes, about almost 100 pounds overweight. And it started off rough, but he stuck with it. And initially when I tried to take people from 0 to hero. So his 0 state was overweight. He was successful in his business, but like I said earlier, his identity doesn't match, when he comes home. He was stressed out, high blood pressure, all this stuff, high cholesterol, and just didn't have the confidence that he usually had, because he worked out before. He was an athlete in the past, but all that was gone. And then fast forward, it's been about 2 years now since he's been working with me. The confidence is ridiculous. Like every time I go work out with him, he never even has his shirt on. You know,
Awesome.
he's about to get married, and yeah, the weight loss is like the furthest result. Like he's not even thinking about that. It's just like the confidence that he exudes, his business, the energy that he has. That's why I think it's so important for investors. It will actually help your business as well. I have another friend. I don't know if I should say his name on camera.
Okay.
But I'll say his name. But he's an investor, and sometimes you don't see the value in what it's costing you not to invest in your health. You know, even you could be doing well in your business, but if you actually put that time and energy, your business can elevate so much more because you're, you know, operating in high performance essentially.
Right. Absolutely.
So what are some things that they like? I know, confidence. So yeah, it does trickle down. I guess the energy trickle down because when you go in the office, you got employees, you got a staff team, and if you're just moping around, you feel a little sluggish. You know, you're the leader. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna spread throughout your team. So that energy.
Yeah, and it's like a multiplier effect. You know, especially with Jesse, since he's doing it now. Evo is got a trainer. Now he's doing it. Cal, another employee that worked for him, he's doing it. I went to visit his new office. They're like, "Oh man, can you come here and like work with our whole office and like do like wellness Wednesdays?" But
nice.
what that does for your culture and your company, if you show up that way, everybody else is gonna be like, I don't want to show up with these donuts because this guy have a different culture, you know.
Be shaming.
Yeah. Wow, all right. No, that's I watch you guys online. You guys always post together, right? Like,
dues paid.
So what dues paid is what you guys said?
That's his I'm gonna give him that. Yeah.
What is it?
Dues paid. Yeah.
Oh, dues paid. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Well, let's take a brief break. Hear a word from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll be back with Jaquan. We will talk about, his clientele, who he works with, what population he works with, and how you can reach out to him. So we'll be right back.
Are your real estate dreams on hold? With work, kids, everything else going on, time is limited. Most days you feel like the world's on your shoulders. You might even say to yourself, if I just had someone to lean on and push me in the right direction, I know things would happen quicker. Well, then you need to check out the Deal Finders Club, a community of investors eager to close more deals, sign more contracts, and just get ahead in life. The DFC provides weekly coaching, thriving online community, and all the education you need to be confident. DFC is your fastest path to closing more deals. To learn more, head over to AZDFC.com. That's AZDFC.com.
Okay, guys, thank you for bearing with us. We are back with Jaquan, and we were talking about health and fitness as a real estate investor. So what Jaquan didn't mention right now is he's in the market. He's looking for a duplex. He's looking for multifamily. So he wants to be a real estate investor. And what I'm going to say to you, Jaquan, is you don't want to be a real estate investor. You are a real estate investor right now. So what are you seeing as a person now starting to be a real estate investor? What are you seeing? What are you trying to learn? What are some of the things that you may be missing that maybe me and Mike can help you, or the general population of AZREIA can help you?
What am I seeing out there? I'm really seeing a lot of opportunity, honestly, as far as trying to get my first deal. I would say my second deal. My first deal was actually like a burr.
Okay.
I refinanced, cashed out, and I'm actually looking for rentals now. But with the market, it's crazy. I'm on Zillow every day, and the prices are dropping. And I'm like, all right, I'm a new investor. I'm trying to get these new properties. So I'm trying to balance like being over anxious or basically waiting for a deal. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, should I buy that, or I can wait maybe another couple weeks or a month. So I'm trying to just figure out what's the best option as far as, picking the property.
Right. Well, the good thing about it is you're connected to AZREIA, so you get all of the information at the monthly meetings and things like that. So to stay tuned in, stay plugged in. What me and Mike would say is, if you are evaluating a deal and you're unsure, just let us know, and we will run the numbers, go over it with you, and say, okay, Jaquan, you might want to pull a trigger on this one.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a rehab with a friend. We've been working on this rehab since January, so we're basically going to get it for $100,000, and it's worth like $300. This is back in January, so yeah. And the partner I'm working with, he's moving so slow now. Even talking to Mike, I'm like, I think it's best for me to just walk away from this one because the process is so slow, and then family is involved. So I think I'm getting smarter. It's like, all right, you don't have to go after every single deal, and there's gonna be a lot more out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I started, I was always like, you always feel like you're gonna miss out if you don't take advantage of that deal or whatever it is. It was the Science of Getting Rich. I forgot the guy's name. No. Anyways, but the Science of Getting Rich. There's always going to be another opportunity around the corner, right? And that took a lot of anxiety and stress off my mind when I was first starting, right? Because you just want to get it done, you want to make money, or you might make, ultimately you might be making the wrong decision. So good, man. I'm glad that we were talking about earlier how it's a long game, right?
Yep.
Plant the seed, water it.
Yeah, I appreciate AZREIA too for having the cash flow games every month. I actually took a course. I like to practice what I preach, you know what I mean? So I take a course on things I've learned. And one of the homework assignments was like, all right, you got to play the cash flow game and then live your life like that. So I came in here and played the cash flow game. I need to play it again, but yeah, I'm trying to live my life just how the cash flow game is.
What did you learn? Throw us a tip that you may took away with you that day.
Well, one of the things is the more you know, you can make better decisions.
Yep.
There was so many big deals, small deals coming my way, and I didn't really know how to handle it. I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't only know how to negotiate this. Like, I don't know. And another guy who was playing with this, he was a little bit more savvy. He played it, and then he kind of knew what moves to make. So as I'm entering this new field of real estate, I'm like, all right, cool. I need to keep educating myself, keep surrounding myself with investors, because the more savvy you are, the better decisions you're going to be able to make. The faster you get out the rat race.
And another thing with cash flow also is, like you said, it was your first time playing. You were learning. This other person was savvy. So in the real world, what do? We say, okay, well, we need to partner with this person because he know what I don't know. I may know something that he don't know. We partner together and we have a successful deal. One of the things that traditional education has created a flaw in our mental thought process is you have to do it alone. So when you go to school as a young kid, you can't cheat, can't talk to your neighbor. When you take the test, it's just you by yourself. But that's not how the real world works. The real world works by, hey, I have a network. If I don't know something, I can go to this person and ask a question. If I'm coming up to a deal or an opportunity and I don't know what to do, I can ask a person. Well, traditional education says, no, if you don't have the answer, you just get it wrong. And that's just not the way life works.
Right. Yeah, it's like keep your eyes on your own paper type of deal.
Exactly.
In life, you can cheat. You can cheat a little bit.
And that was honestly, that was one of the things that I had to get over, and that I still get over as far as pride. That's the way I look at it, is as far as pride. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to reach out to anybody because, hey, I'm the savvy investor. I should know, I should have all of the answers. Well, you don't have all of the answers. So I'm just letting you know, Jaquan, as a starting investor, just feel free to ask the questions because we don't have all of the answers.
Right. Yeah. No, that was something like, man, I'm obsessed with looking at new homes and like finding new deals because I'm excited where the future is going. But kind of even going back to what you're saying, the prideful, especially as a man, we're like, I don't know what to ask. But we're talking about fitness earlier. That's the same way. People are like, man, I know what to do. Like, it just eat less calories, move around. I'm gonna lose weight, or I don't want to ask nobody. But having that pride and that ego slows you down. Maybe you can do it by yourself, but it's gonna take you so much longer. So reach out to somebody and get that help, and just accelerate your results a lot faster.
Same way with real estate. What do we say all the time?
Coach, get a mentor, man. Someone that that can help you beat the learning curve. And same thing. We gotta take our own advice. Get a health coach, nutritionist.
True.
Called Quan.
So you look at any professional athlete, they have numerous coaches. You look at LeBron, you look at Mike. Everybody. They have everybody has a professional coach. And not just for the team, but then they have coaches outside just to work some of the skill sets that they may be deficient in. So, guys, connect with Jaquan. How can we reach out to you, man? How can we get connected with you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm all over social media, YouTube. The name is Befitnominal. I'm going to spell it because it sounds kind of crazy. So Befit, Befitnominal.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, you can look me up on Facebook, Jaquan Newsome, and my direct line is 718-7699.
Love it.
Okay, guys,
Great, man.
you all know what to do. Move at the speed of instructions,
Yeah.
and let's get out there and let's get healthy. Thank you, Jaquan. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for listening to the AZREIA Show with your hosts, Marcus Maloney and Mike 𝗘𝗅𝗏. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you found this information valuable, head over to AZREIA.org and learn more about our community.